All right, guys. Well, let's just jump right in there. Make sure you guys are slapping that like. Let's get this like up. Come on, let's do it. We've been doing pretty good lately. So what's going on, guys? Bitcoin right now testing a big spot right now that we just seem to just keep hitting our head on. Right now, 59,600, 59,000, like right under 6, right? We have our pretty much our resistance line pretty much right at that 600, that 59.6, and you can see, jump in and zoom in on the chart, you can see that we are literally retesting that right now. This is on the 30-minute chart. You can see for Bitcoin today, you know, we were looking decent as of today. Earlier, the GDP numbers came out today for the quarterly. We actually beat expectations. We saw some nice little run as of earlier this morning. Bitcoin ran up. Looked like we were going to start doing some things, right? And you guys can see we basically hit our head at around 61,000. We'll call it 61,200. A little bit under, right? Pretty much nothing other than that. Nice little drop coming back down towards the trend line, pretty much that we've been setting for now, right? You guys can see since we made this bottom on the 4th, which is technically about over 3 weeks now, we hit this bottom 49,000. You can see the trend has been, as we've been making higher lows as of since, right? You know, but a couple of these areas that we just keep coming up to and we just keep getting rejected, which is showing us that the markets right now are just not ready to pump. We're just not ready to pump, guys. Why is crypto being held down right now? The stock market today, looking at like the S&P, the NASDAQ, they're kind of flat today. They're flat, nothing too crazy, but they're all sitting right under all-time highs right now. Literally sitting right under all-time highs. But crypto isn't doing anything. It's not doing anything, guys. What is going on? Well, let's find this out. What's going on, Overcome? Solana, same thing, sitting right there at 139. Honestly, it looks like a decent little buy-in zone right now. Solana's been struggling as well, as of all the altcoins are, right? You can look at the crypto bubbles for the daily, and you can see pretty much most of the market's in the red, right? We have some projects that are technically in the green, but if you really look at them for the week, they're really not doing much. Even if they're up 1 or 2% right now, not much is going on. Yesterday, we did check out this project Dogs, which I believe is on TON. It is down 10%. I told you guys yesterday to be very cautious buying in, only because the project was up a little over 20% yesterday, and the markets were looking like they just were not going to support really much pumping. DeFi has kind of gotten into this funk right now where there's really not a lot of going on DeFi as well. You know, you go back a few months ago, and even if we were having bad days or bad weeks in the traditional market, Bitcoin, you looked at DeFi, and DeFi was going crazy, right? DeFi was unaffected. Now that we've gone through consecutive weeks, maybe you can say consecutive months of downward movement with crypto, a lot of up and downs, but mostly downs, you can see that it has trickled over to the DeFi section, and DeFi is starting to cool off as of now, right? I told you guys this plenty of times. With DeFi, it's a lag effect, right? Lag effect with the markets pumping and then the markets dumping as well. You know, it takes a few weeks for whatever. If the markets are doing great, like if you see the markets right now, I mean, honestly, right now, if the markets just turn around tomorrow and start pumping, DeFi will probably just get right back to where it was, right? But if we continue to see the markets in this kind of trend that we've been in, and you see DeFi has been continuing to kind of dwindle and not do much, volumes down, it's going to take a while after Bitcoin starts pumping again for DeFi to get back up and activated, right? And it's the same thing when you see that DeFi has been pumping like crazy and going crazy. The traditional market starts to, go through phases like we're in right now. It takes a few weeks, a nice month for it to kind of go over into the DeFi space. And that's what we're seeing now, right? We're seeing that DeFi, not much is going on right now. So, you know, it's just across the board. It's across the board right now. Let's cover some stories and stuff. I want to jump in, and we're going to do some Twitter spaces as well. Bring in some Twitter spaces. For today, looking at the fear and greed index, we're still sitting at around that 46 level, literally telling you that just from yesterday to today, nothing really has changed, right? Nothing's changed as far as fear and greed. Nothing's really changed in regards to the price. We're at 59,000, pretty much where we were at yesterday, right? So nothing really has changed as of today. The only thing that I can say that has changed is looking at the 24-hour volume for today for the whole crypto space. It's down 31%. The crypto space, the market cap is down a little over 1%. Bitcoin's dominance is still at 56.2%. With those numbers all right there, what that tells me is that a lot of people are just basically, they're just like, I don't know what's going on in crypto. I'm going to hold off right now. That's what a lot of people are doing, right? We're at a pivotal spot right now with Bitcoin particularly, where after this past few days ago, where we saw one of the biggest days for liquidations in regards to longs, right? A lot of people right now are just sitting on the sidelines and they're just kind of waiting to see what's going on. They can't feel the market out. And you know what? I will tell you, I'm right there with them, right? I'm right there with them. I do see like other YouTubers, they're just trying to stay bullish, and I tip my hat to them. I really do, because not saying that it's easy to be bearish right now, but it's hard to be bullish, right? And I'm sure they're scouring through some of these like news articles and stuff like that to try to just bring bullishness, continuation into their channels, because it's rough right now. It really is. Maybe not rough as far as like, that things could be so much worse than where we're at right now as far as price action. But like, if you look at the crypto space right now, there's not much going on right now. There's really not much. I mean, we ran with the Telegram story for 2 days because there's really not much going on right now. So it's just one of those times where, a lot of people are going to, we kind of talked about this, we brushed on this a few weeks ago, where people are going to get bored, and people literally trade out of their positions for losses just because they're bored, right? A lot of people come into this space, or they like to stay in this space when things are moving around a lot, right? Whether they're up or they're down, it still gives them excitement. When we're stagnant like this, and even now you're talking about DeFi. DeFi's kind of just been sitting still. Now you just have people like, what do I do? This is boring, right? I'm just going to sell for a loss. Don't be those people. Not financial advice. Let's jump into some articles. We got some good stuff. I didn't have to scour through anything. So a couple of things I wanted to look at. Today, Ton's blockchain back online following the second outage. You guys know we've been covering blockchain a lot recently with the Telegram. Even before, we covered Ton. I've always said that I'm pretty bullish on Ton, right? Long term. And, this article, don't think that I'm being bearish on Ton, because you can even look in the history of Solana. Solana's has had outages like this, right? It actually is a good thing for a blockchain when they're first starting off, and really starting to get a lot of volume and building up traction, for them to go through stuff like this, because hopefully they're learning from whatever caused this, right? Solana was going through this, and at a time they were getting attacked by bots, right? We all know Solana bots are crazy right now. We're actually going to cover a story on trading with bots. We're going to cover that, so stay tuned. But with Solana, they were getting attacked with bots in regards to the bots were overdoing the system as far as transactions per second, where they were literally attacking the Solana network in regards to just doing massive transactions in split seconds by the millions, right? And it was causing outages in Solana. So Solana had to change some things around in regards to, because before, Solana used to be relatively free to trade. Well, this was going on with the bots. They were doing massive trades per second, overloading the system, causing outages. Solana had to basically change that, right? So now trading's very cheap, but it pretty much derailed these bots from going over and doing millions of transactions per second, because that still will accumulate to a lot of money, right? So with that being said, the Ton blockchain network has resumed operations following its second outage in 2 days. The Ton community announced the news on its Telegram channel early Thursday morning, Hong Kong time, confirming that Ton's base asset withdrawals and deposit via wallets would be soon processed. The latest disruption, lasting over 4 hours, was attributed to a heavy load caused by dogs token minting. That's crazy. Ton suffered 2 outages in 2 days. The recent outage follows a similar outage on Tuesday after U.S. time, or afternoon U.S. time, which was resolved shortly after midnight. Both interruptions were linked to a minting of the DOGS token, first identified by observers and later confirmed by TON Network. However, it remains below its previous levels before... What did we miss here? Oh, yeah. Despite the setback, TON and native tokens on the TON coin saw an 8% increase in value following the news. However, it remains below its previous levels before the arrest of the Telegram CEO PEPE. Although Telegram and TON are legally separate, their close affiliation has drawn attention, particularly following Durov's recent arrest in France. He faces charges related to facilitating illicit transactions. You guys can read that one, and failing to cooperate with authorities, among other allegations. So DOGS tokens, we talked about this yesterday. So DOGS token leads to TON network outage. The launch of DOGS token triggered significant congestion on the blockchain, leading to an unexpected network outage. The overwhelming demand for the airdrop DOGS token caused a massive surge in on-chain activity, straining the network's capacity. Kind of like what I just explained with Solana, right? But this wasn't malicious. On Tuesday night, the blockchain's official account on X reported a disruption in block production due to abnormal load, noting that approximately 20 million transactions had been processed in the preceding 48 hours. Introduced in July 2024, DOGS is branded as the most Telegram native meme coin, drawing an inspiration from Spotty, a mascot popularized by Telegram founder and CEO PEPE. The DOGS token has quickly gained a substantial following with its official Telegram channel, DOGS Community, attracting nearly 17 million subscribers. Additionally, the DOGS Community official account on X has amassed 3.9 million followers since its debut in July. Looks like positioning it alongside major players like Phi Network and Ethereum in terms of social media influence. That's crazy. I didn't realize how big DOGS actually, obviously we saw DOGS yesterday. A couple people in the chat were talking about it. I mean, I guess if you think about it, it already is at top 100 per market cap project, right? Let's actually pull that up real quick. You guys can see No FUD Koala hanging in there today. Not looking too bad. We're down 3%, but it's not really necessarily because of sales or sells. It's really just because Solana's down. We did see a kind of a bigger sell earlier today. Is it DOGS? There it is. Let me see something here. Market cap 847 million. What's this one? 6. We're just comparing to see if this was actually the same. What's this at? 153. Nah, I think this is different. I guess it is. It's just a little price change or difference. Yeah. I don't know. This doesn't seem right, but I guess it's number one on TON. So yesterday when we were covering this project, I told you guys, obviously this is DOGS on TON. I was telling you guys it had spiked up, and I told you be careful because it was definitely on a run yesterday. It wasn't nothing crazy, but it was up like 20-25% when we were covering it. And I just said be careful, right? Because TON right now is struggling, right? You're buying in on the hype train, and from what that article just said that we just read, they just did a massive airdrop for the DOG token, right? So usually after the airdrop, it's going to cause sell pressure, right? It's going to cause sell pressure in the project. So if you're fixed on buying that DOG project, usually you guys know what I say in regards to new projects or projects that have pre-sales that you missed out on or any kind of airdrops. I usually tell you to hold off, even if it's a few days, usually preferably about a week or two. Let the dust clear, aka sell pressure kind of relieve itself from everybody just selling off from the pre-sale, and then buy-in, because usually the charts will usually come from a spike, usually a big drop, you know, and then it'll kind of trade sideways and try to find that footing or a solid, you know, support level, you know, after all that sell pressure relieves itself. And then now usually is a good time for you to jump in on the project, so then you can get in when it naturally starts growing. Ton right now, not looking terrible, but really not looking too, you know, appealing, sitting at around $5.40. So nothing too crazy on that one. All right, next article. Donald Trump teases a U.S. crypto capital of the planet plan. Let's see what he's got. Let's see what he's got for us, guys. So on August the 29th, today's my daughter's birthday. Happy birthday to my little girl. She's 15, not such a little girl. So on August 29th, which is today, Trump stated that he would lay out his plan to ensure America becomes the crypto capital of the planet on blockchain and digital assets, increasingly future and U.S. political campaigns. Trump's X posts also mentioned the world's Liberty financial initiative spearheaded by his sons, Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump. Details about the project were scarce at press time, but rumors suggest it revolves around the real-world assets and tokenization. The Trump son also warned crypto proponents to beware of scams and imitators on the project's official Telegram channel, which has over 53,000 subscribers. Trump has yet to disclose how involved he might be in the World Liberty Fi or what the initiative aims to achieve. So a couple things. First, Old, thank you so much for the happy birthday. I really do appreciate that. I will let her know. She, believe it or not, I'm always like, did you watch the show from the other room? She's like, no, Dad, I didn't. I'm like, she's all right, fine. She'll be into crypto eventually, though. Don't worry. I gave her all my passwords, and you know, I gave her all my security stuff. I was like, if anything ever happens to me, I was like, this is how you get into my accounts. Don't sell. I was like, just hold on until it goes up. All right. Have you guys done that with your kids? Right? Like, I gave her all the passwords to get into all my accounts. She's the only person on the planet other than my dog, my puppy. They're the only two that actually know how, if anything ever happens to me, guys. Right? So a couple things I'm pulling this up is, so we're still reading that Donald Trump article, but he was mentioning on their Twitter, like, be careful with you know, artificial projects that are trying to use them. And it brings me back to this restore the public thing, because we saw this pop up, right, like a week ago, or maybe it's been a few weeks now. Damn, it's been 3 weeks. So we saw this pop up 3 weeks ago, and they was basically claiming that they were supported by Trump Jr. and all that stuff, and then they ended up coming out saying that they were not supporting this project, and you saw a big move towards the downside. So there's a lot of projects right now that are out that are claiming that they're supported by Trump, and supposedly, as of now, they pretty much have said that they haven't released anything yet, right? But what's crazy is they keep mentioning projects. And then you see all over Solana, and I'm sure all over the other ecosystems, people are like creating these projects, right? Because obviously they're like, well, shit, he just said this, you know, and they create it. And I'm sure there's a lot of people freaking losing their ass on a lot of these projects. It's like, maybe they shouldn't be bringing up any projects, like the names of them, yet until they actually drop them. But let's see. This guy, he dropped, Trump dropped a little news ad. So let's see what it is.
You out of business. We're not going to let that happen. This afternoon, I'm laying out my plan to ensure that the United States will be the crypto capital of the planet. They want to choke you. They want to choke you out of business. We're not going to let that happen.
World Liberty. So this dropped this morning. Like around 9 a.m. on Twitter. He's back on Twitter, believe it or not. So this dropped 9 o'clock this morning, and let's see if we can see kind of what happened this morning. Was this the reason why we started pumping, possibly? They always give you military time in the morning. It's, you know what? Did they give us military time? 9 o'clock in the morning. And this was 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 9 a.m., this is where Bitcoin was. And literally within 2 hours, Bitcoin did start pumping, right? So I don't know if you can contribute, possibly something like that. Now you're wondering, why is Bitcoin pumping? Possibly because of that. Well, you got to remember, it's a 50-50 chance that him or the other person are going to get into the office, right? And if at least one of them are very pro crypto, it's going to move the markets, right? Because people are, hoping that whoever does get in office, I've already said this. I hope that both of them can take a positive stance on crypto, right? It's just, I don't think that the other side is going to do that. They might talk a big game, but you guys can see yesterday we covered the story on Gary Gensler coming after NFTs now, right? Gary Gensler works for the current administration. And Trump said that when he gets into office, that was going to be one of the first things that he wants to do is remove Gary Gensler. Now, whether he can do that or not, it's just hearing that is going to get people pumped up, because they just have this hate for this guy. Hate's such a strong word, but this dislike against this guy for everything that he's been doing to the crypto space, right? So let's see here. So during a May gala, Donald Trump first styled himself as the industry champion and started adopting pro-crypto remarks to woo Web3 voters. Trump's bullish rhetoric continued at the July Bitcoin conference. The Republican Party candidate promised to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve and fire Gary Gensler, current Securities and Exchange Commissioner chair. While odds between Trump winning and Democrat pick Kamala Harris become president have fluctuated recently, crypto seems to lean towards the former president and his supposed policies. Also, a Bitcoin bill filed by fellow Republican Senator Cynthia Lummis from Wyoming has reported gathering steam in the Senate like Trump's plan. Lummis' proposal would tap America's existing stockpile and leverage gold certificates for a 2-decade Bitcoin hodl. And this was a big thing. We covered it. She was proposing, and it's still, I think, supposed to be voted on, where the government just starts accumulating Bitcoin, right? For a certain amount of time, they're going to be buying daily Bitcoin. Do you understand how big that would be? I think that would put it on the ETF level as far as just the market, moving the market, right? And being very bullish, just like the ETFs were when we first initially saw that they got accepted. So, Art's in the house. What's going on, bro? So another project or another article that I wanted to read is something that's very interesting. And if you guys do trade on Solana, particularly this, tune in on this one. So bots, we always talk about this with NFK. We always see these buys that come in, right? And it's crazy because sometimes when you see a big buy come in, particularly for like NFK, we don't see it coming, right? You just see whenever the buy came in. But right before that buy comes in, if you notice, there'll be a few other buys like instantly right before, right? And they'll buy in, let's say for $30, and they'll sell for $31. I mean, in split seconds, right before a really big buy comes in that was going to move the market. And you're wondering, I'm like, how in the freaking hell do these bots know this shit, right? And I guess it's all through the algorithm. But something is just like, it's odd how they can see, how they can get their buy-ins and their sales and before and after, right after a buy, like a big buy comes in on any project. Also, if you ever pay attention, if you ever get in, we'll look at it right now and I'll show you guys massive bots right now. Another thing too is when you go in and you get into these like new pairs, right? Let's go into something that has some solid Nvidia right here. This is a fake Nvidia, but I want to show you guys. So this, all right, there's only 52. Now this isn't a good one. There might be where the bots have toned down a little bit because, like I said, it's been getting 1 month. Now we're looking at new pairs, newest. Age is 1 minute. Let's see here. Looking for like a massive transactions that have come through right here. 400 transactions in 8 minutes. We're going to go through here. I want to show you guys. if we're able to scroll down, you guys can see that when this project drops, I mean instantaneously, when it drops, there's already like 40 buy-ins, right? I mean, the split second it drops, and you're wondering like, how in the hell is that possible? And it's because of the bots that are trading in, right? Because of the bots that are coming in. Look at all these small little buy-ins, 4 cents, 13 cents, all these little small buy-ins. A lot of them you'll see. Well, these actually haven't sold off yet. I guess this isn't a good analogy. Let me see here. This one's good right here. You can see, like, look at this. This bot bought in for $948 and sold within a split second for a $2 gain, right? Had to use $948 to do it, but boom, look at that. Another bot right after that. I mean, these are the split seconds. This is actually in the same second right here. All in the same second right here. $908 buy-in. Within, I mean, a half of a second, sold off for $2 gain, right? Right here, same thing. $988 sold for $990, a $2 gain. Look at this one. This is all still in the same freaking second, right? 1,031 sold for 1,033. What I'm pointing at is that these are bots. This is not human activity. These are actual bots that are doing this. And what's crazy is this is what the article was talking about, beating bots in defense of human traders. So what they're saying is that right now, when you're in DeFi, the odds of you actually beating these bots, it's just not going to happen, right? Obviously you can still make money on DeFi, but these bots are absolutely killing it. And this is what this article is going to dive into. Bullish, what's going on, buddy? So as bots come to dominate trading on DEX, remember, DEX are decentralized exchanges, right? You have centralized exchanges like Coinbase, Crypto.com, all these bigger KuCoin, those are central exchanges. DEX are decentralized exchanges like swaps, right? Like what we go onto the DEX screener, we're looking at all those DEXs. That's a decentralized exchange, right? Lower fees, kind of, into the gray area. The wild west is what we kind of consider it, right? It's every man for themselves out there. Perry said that's manipulation. Bro, in a way it is. In a way it is, bro. And it's you can be mad about it or you can maybe join it, right? And we're going to get into this. So as bots come to dominate trading on DEX, a new price prediction platform allows human traders to demonstrate what they are good at, says Markism, can't even pronounce that last name, the founder of Sentiment. So on March 18th, this was, when we were pumping, this was when the market was absolutely ripping back in March. On March 18th, some 9.5 billion was traded on decentralized exchanges, or DEX, across all chains tracked by DeFi data site. DeFi Llama. March was a month of heavy trading, to be sure, but volume on the 18th was about the same as the day before. But take a look at the data from the different angle, and March 18th stands out. It was the highest volume trading day for crypto bots in 6 months, according to the data tracked by the user @WhaleHunter and published on the Dune Analytics platform. According to the Dune dashboard, over 700 million was traded on March 18th by bots with names like BONK bot, Mastrio, and Banana Gun. Now, putting a pause real quick, that you can get involved in bot trading, right? I'm not really familiar with it, but there's a lot of YouTube videos out there that will kind of point you in that direction on how to use bot trading. There is bot trading that's on like Telegram and I believe Discord and other sorts and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with it, but there is bot trading on that, and what it pretty much is entitles is that you're going to be basically, because I have looked into it, but I was like, I didn't go through with it, because what you're doing is you have to give them access to a wallet that you run, right? Let's say you have a DeFi wallet on Solana. You're going to load up money or already have Solana on there, and you're basically going to let them take over and let them trade off. And what they're going to do is they're going to basically hit you with fees, whether they're making money or not, right? And they also are going to let you know, disclaimer, that you could lose everything that's in there. It's not guaranteed for you to be making money, right? Because a lot of times what these bots are also, they can't distinguish between rug pulls and stuff like that. And you guys know a lot of times when projects drop on Solana, they can possibly, a lot of them are most likely rug pulls, right? So these bots get hit with that shit too. But that's why if you see they're buying in on very small increments, usually they're buying in on small increments, and it's very fast within split seconds, right? I think that they have an algorithm for these bots, because I've seen it on our project too, that whenever there's a project that's been out for a while, like our project's about to hit 6 months, you'll see when a bot comes through, it buys like $1,000 real fast and then sells like $1,004, right? And you're usually like, why the hell would someone do that? It's a bot, right? But they're willing to use a little bit more risk on projects that have been out for, a consecutive amount of time, because they know the odds of a rug pull happening in that split second of them putting in that big chunk of money is very slim to none, right? Versus a new project that just dropped on the deck screener that's only 1 minute old. They're not going to put 1,000 in there real fast. They're going to use small increments, and they'll take those few cents of profit, right? But they'll do it over and over and over and over again, all day, 24 hours, 7 days a week. They'll do it, and it accumulates a lot. So with that being said, scan the Dune dashboard further, and you'll see that the trading bots have raked in over $220 million in fees collectively since they were tracked. They're responsible for over $33 billion in lifetime volume on the dexes. They are crypto's new cash cow, as one research report from Defi Digital put it. What are the odds that you, a retail crypto trader, can beat the bots at their game? Bots are great at acting on past information and quickly, but the real gigabrain traders are foretelling what's next, often in ways that algorithms can't. In short, acting slowly can give you an upper hand. That's where a new type of platform, predicting on human experience and probable reputation, really shines. But first, we must understand the limits of our crypto trading bot friends. How can it be that humans could ever hope to defeat an army of tireless robots at the toughest game of all, beating the market? The answer lies in the way bots and humans reason. What's going on, Troy? So let's see here. Can bots really beat the market? So as Ali, a former AI research and current crypto investor at Anderson's Horowitz, lays out, AI today relies on a type of laborious inductive reasoning to arrive at its conclusions. This means it consumes a vast amount of data to draw connections between them. When prompted, it can fit the quilt of connections it has created to respond and generate an answer. By contrast, humans can carry out a creative inquiry, craft hypotheses, and conduct experiments to prove them wrong, then take the results and write a general theory. This theory is deductive. It can be applied to a variety of scenarios and be logically correct. That was a big tongue twister. And I feel like they're testing my reading skills right now through this article. What do you guys think? So this difference in modes of reasoning exposes AI most brutally when it comes to long tail subjects. In these cases, the data required by AI models to stitch their quilts of connections are scarce. This means the quilts become threadbare, and the models spit out poor responses when prompted. AI models today mirror, rather than explain as humans do, the chaos and complexity of the phenomena they observe. I have no idea. They kind of lost me in the article on all this like word scramble, but to put it in like we've already said, bot trading is here to stay, right? Bot trading is here to stay. Like I said, if you guys are interested in bot trading, I mean, I'm not suggesting it or going against it. you could always try it out with a small amount of money. Like I said, there's plenty of avenues that you can go and look on. Obviously, YouTube. We're on YouTube right now. YouTube's your friend in regards to researching stuff like that, and I'm sure there's a lot of videos that have tutorials on how to get started with bots and stuff like that. I forgot where there was something I was in where I was literally like right there. I was ready to, it was basically saying connect your wallet, you know, and you know, it was going to start trading for me, but I was like, you know what? I was like, I don't want to do this, you know? It was just, I just was like, I don't want to do it. So, but you know what? You guys let me know what your experience is on bot trading. I mean, I do see it. Like I said, I do see it a lot, especially with our project. People coming in and not people, but bots coming in and doing crazy buy-ins and sell-ins. And at first I was like, why the hell did someone just buy in $2,000 and then just sell $2,002? I was like, why do that? You know, and then when you finally realize it was like, it was a freaking bot. It was a damn bot. Damn robots out there. They're taking over the world, guys. They're taking over the world. Let's get into our Twitter spaces. Yes, I still call it Twitter. Let's look at some stuff here. So global liquidity reached a new all-time high record of $95 trillion. Bitcoin always follows global liquidity. So Bitcoin to 125 plus soon is what this is calling. So this chart basically, it follows, it has two different charts. Obviously the top is going to be Bitcoin, right? And the bottom is going to be technically what they're saying is the global liquidity as of US dollars, right? And right now they're saying that we sit at somewhere around $95 trillion that it's in circulation right now. And what they're saying is if you kind of look at this chart, it correlates and runs parallel, right? They're not going to go exact, but it goes parallel. So you can kind of see what they're saying. And I mean, if you really do look at this chart, it looks pretty similar, right? Obviously, it's not going to be to the T, right? Because, you know, Bitcoin is trading, right? You're going to have, it's going to be different in fluctuations. But if you look at the broad of it, you can see that they both look very similar, and they pretty much are going in sync for the most part. So what they're predicting, Ash Crypto on Twitter, guys, go follow them, is basically what they're saying is that we potentially, if we can get past, and you can see, I mean, if you really look, I've been showing you guys this for a while with the charts for Bitcoin particularly, right? You can see, I'm sorry for all the lines everywhere, but you can see that we've been making lower highs, right? And when you go over here, if you look, this is that chart that I'm looking at right here. This is the all-time high for crypto in March, and we've been making lower highs. But you can see the liquidity for the global liquidity for US dollars has spiked, and they're predicting that we're going to see a spike if this comes into fruition. So we'll see how that plays out. But you know, sometimes it's cool to look at some of these charts and just get away from the daily trading, right? Because when you're looking at daily charts, it especially like in the last like week or two, you know, it's hard to not be bearish, right? But when you pull up a chart like that that's long term, and it shows you a correlation of like what Bitcoin's doing versus the US dollar in regards to liquidity, you can see that they're both going pretty similar, and they just continue to move up, right? So let's see here. If Bitcoin breaks this support, we are beep. So this guy puts out a chart, Crypto Rover. Shout out to Crypto Rover. Puts up a chart here, and you guys can see this is since this was back on the 4th, right? And he's pretty much putting some resistance and support levels here. And you can see, I'm sure if we pull up my chart, it'll pretty much be pretty much the same in regards to this resistance right here. I don't know exactly where he has it, maybe around 62, 61.5, somewhere around there. But you can see what he's saying is if Bitcoin breaks this support level, we are effed. So he's basically saying that where we're at right now, the support level at around, well, not where we're at, but where we keep bouncing at around that 57.8 area, has basically been a big spot for some support, right? We did break this when we dropped down on the 4th, but that was a giga drop. Giga drops are a little different than when you're basically kind of trading sideways and finding that support. This giga drop has no ends, right? It found a spot at 49K, and you saw the V-shaped recovery, and we kind of went back into normal trading. Now that we're in normal trading, this is where it's a little different. And what he's saying is that if we do not hold this support level, that where we've been bouncing, let's pull up our chart to kind of mimic what's going on here. But he's basically saying, and we have it here, look at this. Well, let's compare here. Yep. So he's basically saying this support level right here that we've bounced at around this 57.9 that we pretty much, I've been calling as well. You can see we have bounced on it multiple times and have held it as support. But what do I always say? If we keep testing a level, eventually it's going to break, right? We really do not want to see us continuing to test this 57.9 area, because eventually it is going to break towards the downside. And that's pretty much what he's saying as well. If we keep testing this level, or if we break this level, it's not going to be good. And then, you know what's so funny is like 3 hours later, he turns bullish. And he says, this is Bitcoin's pattern. This Bitcoin pattern will send us to Valhalla. And you can see it's kind of like a cup and handle is what he's showing, right? You can see that he's showing some kind of a cup and handle in regards to what we got going on right now. I don't know how much. I don't really buy into those cup and handles, but. And then Lark coming over here. Bitcoin after the 24 halving. Gina, what's going on, girl? Look at this. Let's start it over. So look, expectations. Bitcoin after the halving. This is what they're This is what we all were expecting, right? In reality, it feels similar, right? This is that same guy, Crypto River. Look at him 3 hours ago. Who the F is selling? And this is what I was telling you guys. A lot of people that are like investigators that like to watch the wallets are like, where the hell are these sales coming from? They cannot pinpoint like an actual like seller. Like, is it a big institution that's been selling off? Is it a government? What is going on as far as like some of these big sales that keep coming in? Crypto, you guys know him. I'm sure he's pretty big on YouTube as well. He said the moment Bitcoin breaks 70K, it's game over. And you guys can see this is from about 4 hours ago. He posted this, and he's pretty bullish. He's pretty bullish for most of the time in regards to his trades, and he usually will show his trades. They're like $1 million trades, and he'll open up like leverage trading. Absolutely psycho. He'll open up like a freaking $1 million leverage trade. I'm like, this shit's crazy. But you can see he's pretty much mapping it out, showing us that every time, I guess, I don't know if this is consolidation, the moment Bitcoin breaks 70K, it's game over. I'm trying to see where the correlation he's got in regards to, I guess he's got these small little fib retracements, and he's showing that every time, I guess, we get between the 618 and the 1 fib, we end up breaking out, right? You can see here, we did it, and we're basically in that trend right now. So he's calling for some kind of a breakout. And he's been pretty consistent on his trades and stuff like that. Just, you know, he always says it takes time, right? Gotta love these rainbow charts, right? And I'm not, like, no pun intended, I'm just saying these rainbow charts where, you know, they'll pull out, they show you these cycles, right? These are the bull cycles that we have. And this goes back all the way to when Bitcoin first started trading back in 2010, 2011. You see the first cycle, right? Breakout. Second cycle. Let's just jump right into the fourth cycle. So this right here is 2022. This is 2021. This is the last official bull cycle, and then us going into a bear market, right? You see the double top, us going to a bear market, right? And then you kind of see where we're at right now. But what's crazy is, and I don't know what's going on with this, because if you see this top looks like it's higher than where our top should be on this cycle. We've already broke all-time highs, right? If you go back over here, Bitcoin never broke above 80, 70, or 80K right here. So a little confusing on this, but they're saying that they're asking, like, is this consolidation before we break out? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I'm really into all those these kind of long-term charts. Oh, thank you, Lark, for pulling this up. Remember, guys, what I was telling you, I wanted to pull this up today. I'm glad that he has this up here. Appreciate it, Lark. He's a big fan of the channel. Appreciate that, bro. So September and October, this is a chart that pretty much shows us from when Bitcoin started trading all the months, right, from red to green, how they ended off, right? So remember, September, or really what I was going to say is, remember October, a lot of people, we call it Pumptober, right? Because Octobers usually are good months, right? Historically speaking, if you look at everything, if you really look, there's only been 2 actual red months in the last 11 years so far for Bitcoin. If you really think about it, October is one of the bullish months, period, right? One of the bullish months, period. Even during the bear market, we actually closed up 5%, believe it or not, right? So if you look at 2024, where we're at right now, we're only in, obviously, September. September normally is historically a bad month for crypto. If you look, it's been consecutive since 2017 all the way up to 2022, which is what, 6 years. September we ended off in the red. Last year we ended up in the green. What do you think this year is going to be? Obviously, we have literally 2 days. It's most likely going to be in the red, right? But we're going to be getting into October, and you can see on these months that September was red, if you look over, a lot of times, like look over here, like 2021, this was when our last bull run was, our last big bull run. You can see we were down 7% in 2021. Remember, 2021 was the last time, other than this year when we hit all-time highs, this was the last time that Bitcoin was at $69,000. We made all-time highs. We went through altcoin season, right? And you can see, look what Bitcoin did that year. We had a bad September, and then the following month was one of the biggest months on record, and for October, almost 40% up. Almost 40% up. That's crazy. And this is what they're basically saying, and this is what I always tell you guys, is just because we're having a bad week, now a bad month, doesn't mean that things aren't going to turn around, right? So I'm glad that we were able to see this. So you can see, historically speaking, October, Pumptober, is usually a relatively good month for the markets. Old said, it doesn't make any sense to me with all the institutional investing going on. Why hasn't all-time highs for Bitcoin reached past 2021? They did. We did break it, dude. We broke it in March. We broke all-time highs, but it was very brief. And it's like crazy because, a lot of people I understand, a lot of people don't even acknowledge it because it's like we hit it and then we haven't really come close to retesting it much. I mean, we did have a couple times where, like over here, we did run up to 72,000, but you can see March the 13th, we broke all-time highs. 73,737 was on TradingView, the all-time high for Bitcoin. That was this year, March. That was the highest that Bitcoin's ever been. But we have not been able to get back up there. We've come close. We've had a couple times right here, 72, 71, 72, right? We've had a couple times, and recently recently we broke up to 70,000. This was back, what was this, at the end of July, and then we immediately got rejected at 70K, right? And that was basically us going back down, to where we've been going through right now. Shout out to Michael. Welcome to the No FUD squad, brother. Welcome, man. But yeah, going back to this, like I said, guys, October usually is a good month for us. It's usually a good month for us. So obviously, every year is different, but on record, we've only had 2 bad months in October, guys. Let's see if we can get this Pumptober going. Michael said he's glad to be here. I'm glad you're here, brother. We have members only streams on Sunday, so make sure you're available, dude. Old said, I guess I meant to meaning like maintain. Yeah, I mean, if you really think about it too, brother, if you go back to 2021, if you go back to 2021, I need to get like a second Bitcoin chart to get rid of all these lines for times like this. But if you really go back to 2021, you can see, I mean, we hit 69K and we dropped. We didn't stay up there. If anything, on this time around, we've been kind of hovering around the all-time high, not as of late, but, previously in the last few months, like I was pointing out, 72, 71K, 70K. When we were making highs over here, it was like a quick, we run up. It felt like we were up there because we'd stay up, because at that time, $60,000 was a big deal for everybody back in 2021. $60,000 right now is not a big deal for anybody in Bitcoin in 2024. So when we were around this area, we would hover around 60K, 55, 60K, and then we made that $69,000 run, and then that was it. It was just like we went down from there, and you can see that's pretty much the beginning of the bear market. Was a few weeks, or technically the definition of a bear market is 2 consecutive months of being down 20%, right? So you can say, this was the start of us getting towards a bear market after that $69,000 run. And this is why I pointed out, for this particular run that we're in, it's crazy because, we haven't, in my opinion, seen a massive drop like we were seeing in 2021. It was so much more dramatic at that time, so if anything, we've been kind of hovering at these higher levels for a very long time, to be honest, right? And you can see I've had this bull flag painted out since we've made all-time highs. We have been trailing around in this channel, which is technically a really big bull flag. And if this does play out, I've already said this plenty of times, if this bull flag plays out, it's going to be epic. I'm talking about $100,000+ for Bitcoin if it plays out, right? I think what we have that's different than back in 2021 was, we were just coming out of the pandemic, but there was a lot of money that was in the system, in the economy, right? That was pumped out there with all the stimulus checks. And we didn't really have, after the post-pandemic, there really wasn't much going on, right? Right now, if you look around the world, there's a lot of stuff just going on, right? There's a lot of macro stuff going on. There's a lot of just recession talk. There's inflation. There's the interest rates are high, still. There's just a lot of stuff that are all in the equation right now of why, particularly I feel like the markets haven't exploded. But why is the stock market sitting around all-time highs? Why is the stock market continuously making all-time highs and Bitcoin hasn't? That right there is $1 million question, I think, for a lot of people. Big analysts are like just scratching their heads. They're like, it's confusing. You would think that every risk on asset right now would pretty much be in sync in regards to doing good or doing bad. So it's odd times that we're living in right now in crypto. And what I always say, what I've been saying, is that with with the way the crypto's looking, this seems like it's just market manipulation right now, right? It's the only thing that you can lead to in regards to why crypto particularly is not doing the best. And you look over in the stock market is doing really well. The DXY has been doing bad, right? That's usually a big, a big thing for risk on assets. They are inverse, right? The dollar loses strength, risk assets usually will go up. We haven't been seeing that for Bitcoin. It's been kind of the opposite. And even gold, right? Gold's even been making all-time highs, So like, what the hell? What's going on with crypto? I particularly think it's market manipulation. So, with that being said, and I'm sitting here talking the whole time like we're in September. We aren't even in September yet. This is August, right? We technically could, we're gonna end. They already ended August at right now and in the red, right? September, we could see a red September. We could definitely see a red September. Now, last year, you can see, because last year is when we were coming out of a bear market, you can see we ended September technically in a green and saw a nice pump as well in October, right? So, I mean, regardless of however September works, right, we might see a little bit more pain dragging on for the next few weeks. But come October, if we are going to see, like I've been telling you guys, if we're going to see this last leg up in this run, it's most likely going to start at the end of this year, most likely in one of these months, October, November, December. So only time will tell, right, guys? Only time will tell. And again, you can see other people are running with that same chart. I'm happy that we saw that. Look at this. Everyone, oh my God, Bitcoin just crashed 15%. It's over. People who have been in crypto for 6 years. Yeah. But you can still see a little bit of pain in his face, right? I feel like this could go in with anybody that's been in crypto since 2020, right? If you've been in the market for at least 4 years, you see a 15% drop in Bitcoin, particularly. Not even saying alt's going down like 50%. This is kind of your reaction, right? You're just like, been there, done that. Let's see here. So this right here says Bitcoin's fear and greed index hitting levels from the bear market. And we were just covering that earlier. Right now we're in about 46 for fear and greed index. Basically what this chart is pointing out is that so we were in the bear market during the 2022, 2023. You can see fear and greed was around these levels that were pretty much have dropped back down into right now. You can see. So what this article is pointing out is a lot of times, historically speaking, is when we're in these levels, you're usually on the verge of some kind of a run up. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be the next day, but we're saying, you can see as we were in these levels, it was drawn out. This is September 22nd, right? The chart's showing you all the way to January 23rd. That's 4 months of being around this area. But boom, you saw right after that, you saw a massive run in the market, right? So that's another thing that they're showing, and this is what I'm telling you, this is what I've been seeing a lot of the other YouTubers, pointing out, and I tip my hat is usually using these charts to try to keep the bullishness out there, right? Because if you've been in the market for a while, right, that we're going to be heading back up. We just don't know when. We're going to be heading back up. And if you haven't been in the market in a while, this can be scary, right? And these people sell off in fear, right? Only to see in the next month or two the markets go right back to rallying, and we don't even remember what the hell happened, at this point in time right now. So, these charts right here are just basically trying to put out that hopium that good times are ahead of us, right? We got to go through these times that we're in right now to get to the goods. Old said, hey, Crip, can you show the CAS chart? It might cheer everyone up. We'll pull it up. Caspa, good old Caspa. Let's pull up Caspa. This might cheer everybody up, or it might piss everybody off that you didn't buy in on Caspa. Right? Look at Caspa. This is obviously back in 2022 when it dropped, but look at this chart. Nothing but smooth skies and just heading up. Right? Looks great. And still, isn't this insane? Caspa is still sitting above its freaking 236 fib retracement. Isn't that crazy? That is absolutely insane, dude. I don't know too many charts that have been out basically for the last 2+ years that look like this, right? Obviously, it's nothing. It didn't go straight up. It's had times where it's had highs and then retraced, but found some solid support. Highs, found some support, highs, and you can see where it's at right now, finding that support above the 236 fib right now. So Caspa, I mean, there's no other way to look at it, bro. Caspa looks good, whether you like the project or not. Looking at this chart, let me know if you guys know another chart that can compare to what Caspa, you know, what this chart looks like. You know, that's not like a DeFi project or something. Let me know. I'm curious. But you can see, look at this beautiful support at the 236. I mean, this thing, you can't even make this up right here. I mean, look at this beautiful support at the 236. So Caspa's still looking absolutely great, and I can only imagine that when this market picks right back up, Caspa is going to just be flying. Old said, "Oh, I didn't think of that." Nah, I don't. Michael said, "Is there a link for Telegram?" No, brother, there's no link to Telegram. But Michael, are you on Discord? You can exclusively join our Discord and come join the squad. We had a Telegram, bro, and then I removed it because it was getting too scammy. It was getting way too scammy. I'm going to drop the Discord link. This is going to be a link that's only going to be open for the next hour. All right. So I'm going to drop the link because we unfortunately have to be careful dropping the link because I open the gates and then people start abusing Discord as well. So let me drop it in the chat real quick. I just dropped the Discord link. Anybody that's interested in joining the squad, make sure you guys join the Discord. If you're having problems joining the Discord, let me know. I might still have the settings on there to not let anyone in, but should be good to go. And please, only positive vibes in the Discord. We've been doing so good. Our Discord has been so smooth running. Let's just keep it like that. Old said, nice people in the Discord. Exactly. I don't care. We got freedom of speech 100%, but we just don't want to deal with any scammers or anything like that or whatever. I don't want to have to sit here and be moderating the whole time. This was when we saw those liquidations in the market. I was part of that. I was part of that liquidation. Got hit 2 days ago, guys. No Diddy on that one. It was bad. It was bad. That was pretty much it for crypto news on Twitter. Oh, this one right here. Apple launches crypto tap to pay for payments. Nice. That's pretty cool. So I guess with Apple Pay now, you can link. I'm guessing you can link. You would have to have some kind of a wallet that supports crypto. So I'm guessing, I might be behind the times, but I'm guessing Apple already has some kind of a DeFi wallet of some sort that you can transfer your Bitcoin over. That's kind of dope, actually. My daughter's always, I always have to like send her money through Apple Pay, so I might start sending her Bitcoin, right? I'll send her NFK. She's gonna be like, Dad, they don't take NFK. I'm like, bro, tell them they better be taking NFK or they're missing out. And tell them to hodl. Old said, I was wondering when they were going to do something. They had to. Yeah. I mean, that's dope, right? I think that's pretty cool. And it's on their end, they're probably, because obviously when you're buying something on Apple Pay, right? Like let's say, so what they're doing is like, let's say you have, or someone sent you Bitcoin through your Apple Pay, right? You have your Apple Pay, or you have your Bitcoin in there. Let's just say it's Bitcoin. Someone just sent you $100 in Bitcoin, and you're about to go to the store to buy, groceries or whatever the case is. Apple Pay is going to let you, you just pay it on your phone, right? You scan it. They're going to convert it over into US dollars, right? But they're going to take the Bitcoin. I'm wondering if they're going to do that, and then in the long run, they're holding on. They're basically accumulating Bitcoin, a good way for them to convert dollars over to Bitcoin without them having to buy it. I'm wondering if that's something that they're doing. Because on their end, that would be dope, right? I mean, that's a lot of money right there. Look at this. Who can relate to this? Cronos chain. 2021 to 2024. Oh man, Cronos has been ghost town. Let's actually go into Cronos right now. $2 million in volume for all of Cronos. That's insane. Absolutely insane. Crow with Knife is up 3%, but actually down like crazy. Everything else is pretty much in the red. Ryoshi's up 10%. Cronos better step their game up. Old said, I wonder what the fees are. I don't know, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. I do not know. I don't like, I'll send money to my daughter for Apple Pay because she has an Apple phone. But I'd have never, like me personally, I've never bought anything on Apple Pay. So I don't know what they charge or anything like that. I have no idea, to be honest. But there's always some kind of a small fee. There's always some kind of a small fee, bro. I'm sure it's nothing crazy, right? So let's just do a recap, guys. So right now, Bitcoin. Oh, Gina said, how is Ordi doing? That's a good question. I have not checked on ordinals. Kind of sitting where she was sitting yesterday as we ended the stream. You can see sitting at $27.38 for right now. Not looking terrible. I told you, Gina, personally, nice little, I mean, it's got somewhat of a small upward move, but I mean, nothing too crazy, nothing to run home and tell mom about. But one thing, so that the 2650 right here is my buy zone. Anything below that 2650 is pretty much what I've been accumulating. So anytime, even remember at this brief spot right here, obviously right here, and this recent one right here is when I start activating buys on ordinals. So right now we're kind of above, we're obviously above where I bought in my average. And that's not even anything, but I'm just kind of waiting to see if we do come back to retest this 2650 or below is going to be pretty much where I just continue to buy in on. Especially now that I've accumulated a solid bag that, like, I mean, I'm secure with what I have now, right? Obviously, I want to get as much as possible, so I'm not chasing anything, right? I'm not chasing it, so if it's moving up, I'm happy. If it comes down, like I said, it needs to get to a certain level for me to be accumulating because I already have a solid bag for right now. So that's pretty much what it is for ordinals, is 2650 or below. I mean, even if it gets down to like 2675, 2660, I'm not going to pinch pennies, So if it gets down to those areas, I'll buy small increments. If it drops down below that 2650 is when I'm kind of like, okay. And I start accumulating, buying bigger chunks of it. And that's pretty much what you guys can do for all your projects, right? You kind of find a spot, and this is what we learned. This is what we go over on members only stream, right? We go over this on members only stream, how to find these spots on your own, because the point of members only stream is really just to kind of familiarize and get you better on these charts so you can do all this stuff on your own, right? So for all these projects, whether it's like Milady, right? We have levels to where basically what I would assume, like right here, the 79 area is a spot where I would particularly buy in on, right? Because that seems to be a good spot that we find some support. So anything below that would be a good buy-in zone, right, for Milady. And it can be like that across the board, right? Solana, you guys can see Solana, nice buy-in or support area that we have is that we haven't really tested yet, but is around that 137. Anything below that 137, to me particularly, is not a bad buy-in zone. Now for Solana particularly, you guys know I'm very bullish on Solana. 137, not terrible, right? Not terrible, but really, for me to really start buying in on Solana and accumulating more would be somewhere around 121 or below would be really what I would be looking for as far as a good buy-in zone for Solana particularly, right? So, and then obviously you guys know I've been buying in on Myro. Myro is a little different than any other project. See, my buy-in zone was below the 7 cents, and we've been technically below it for a while. We haven't really, we broke above it briefly over here, but came right back down. So even with Myro, where we're at right now is perfect, where I've been just accumulating, right, for Myro, just stacking up. And you guys, if you're not familiar, Myro is a small cap meme coin that's on Solana, but also trading on a lot of central exchanges. $60 million market cap, very, very small, right? So I think Myro particularly could easily get to $1 right now. It's trading at 6 cents, 6.5 cents. So like I said, definitely I think Myro is a solid play right here for sure, and definitely been accumulating. So just to recap, guys, so you guys can see for Bitcoin, we are struggling right now. We're still struggling. We're sitting in this channel that we've kind of been in for the last, what has this been, since the 27th, really for the last few days. We've been trading around in this channel, this lower channel, obviously. Right now we're at about 59,250. We can see that the trend's trying to keep us, moving up. This trend goes all the way back to when we bottomed out at the 49,000. So, I mean, hopefully we can hold, right? But just like that we saw on that Twitter post, there are some certain levels that if we keep retesting, particularly this 57.9 right here, it's not going to be good, right? So we need Bitcoin to get back up and running in regards to just getting back up to some of these, we're not even calling for 70K. Just get back up above 60 and find that support above this 59, at least this 59.6 area, and we'll talk about 60,000 and staying around there, right? But we definitely need some upward movement. We don't want to see much more downward movement, retesting some of these areas, because it will eventually break. And I think for this time, if we do break, we're going to be down at these levels for a little while. I really do believe it, because this isn't, we saw this giga drop and then we saw a V-shaped recovery. What we're seeing right now is we're consolidating to the side. We want to see this upward move, because if we see some more downward movement, I have a feeling that if we do see that, we're going to be down for a little while, possibly for the next few weeks, maybe until we get into October, which we still have all of September to go through, right? So we obviously will be here every day to map it out. All I can say to you guys is if we do dip, like I've been telling you guys, if you're able to financially take advantage of it, that's all you can control, right? Understand that Bitcoin has been in such far worse positions, and we've always prevailed. Always. All right? Be safe out there. Have confidence in all your investments that you're buying in on. Don't make sloppy decisions. Don't chase anything. Only use funds. This isn't financial advice, but only use funds that you don't need anytime soon. Because like I said, we could be around this area for a little while, right? You don't want to be panic selling or stress selling because you use money that you need to pay your rent on or anything, or whatever the case is. All right. Ricky's in the house that I thought I was getting a deal on Myro at 14 cents. Bruh, why didn't you talk to me before that? Now you need to do some dollar cost averaging in and bring that damn thing down. Old said I've got a bunch of Myro. Nice. Okay. Old said I'm down 1,000, but I think it'll be okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, guys. Well, listen. You guys have a fantastic night. If you guys are new here, consider subscribing. We are live every single day. The weekends we do earlier streams. Members, we do members only stream on Sundays. We do periodic airdrops on our native token. We do have our own token on the channel, No FUD Koala. Check it out on Solana, right? I did open up the Discord. It is I'm gonna pin it on the top. That Discord's only gonna be available for the next like hour. So if you do consider joining, just come in with some good intentions. Art said pork. I saw pork was pumping, bro. Let's pull it up real quick. I'll do it for you, Art, because we're Orty bros, right? We're Orty bros, and we got to stick together. We are Orty bros, and Orty bros stick together, guys. That's just the name of the game. You see how long it's taken? Like, what the hell is going on with this chart? Move this fib over a little bit. All right. So with pork, you can see pork bottomed out. You can see pork bottomed out, basically finding that support in between the bottom of the fib and the 786, obviously, at around this 7045 area. Since then, it is up 40%, so not looking bad at all, having a nice little run. What I would say is, I mean, you're going to have a lot of resistance at the 786, which is going to be around that 19, 6 zeros and 19 area, right? So be cautious. Or if you did buy in, you know, somewhere on the bottom, I would probably, and this isn't financial advice, but I would be just looking for some kind of an exit plan if you're up a good bag, right? I'm not saying that this thing's going to zero. Just, you know, with how things have been moving recently, anything right now that if you get an opportunity to buy in at some of these lows and it pumps out of nowhere like a nice giga pump, I would be very conservative trading right now and taking my gains and running with them, right? So I don't know where you're at as far as on this chart, but if you did buy in anywhere down here and you're up, I would just keep a very close eye on this thing. You might have the opportunity of testing the 786 around this 6019 mark, like I said, but I do think it's going to get probably some massive resistance at that level, and depending on how much resistance and if it's able to break, you might start turning back down towards the downside. So, but definitely nice. It looks good. I mean, it's up 40% right now. Market cap 60 million, liquidity at around $2 million. So, and pork's been out for over almost 7 months now. So definitely a solid project for sure. Mike said he joined the Discord. Nice. All right, brother. I will be shutting those gates here soon. Everybody that's in the Discord, keep an eye on who's joining right now. We need to keep an eye on them. All right. Mike, welcome to the Discord, brother. Welcome to the squad. You're like fully in the squad now. Welcome. You're gonna have some fun. We got a whole family, bro. Whole family. All right. So we're good to go. No problem, man. Like I said, take those profits, bro. If you're up, Art. Ricky said I sold my ordinals that I bought at $2.85. I can't get over it. Well, I mean, where'd you sell them? Did you sell them at the high, or did you sell them at $2.85? That's the question. If you bought in at $2.85. I mean, you made money, right? You made money. So you can't be mad at that. Mog don't want Art who I'm sorry, Art. Amor doesn't want the channel to end. Let's see here. He's asking about Mog now. Let's see. Amor, where the hell have you been? Just slide in here, bro. Where have you been? About to send a damn search party out for you. So Mog, he said, my bad, bro. I've been on the road. Don't do that again, all right, bro? I'm just kidding. Welcome, brother. So for Mog, I mean, you can see Mog did drop, gain to zero, right? It obviously gained to zero. Not looking too bad. You know, I since Mog showed us its strength in the last few months, right? Of this, you know, this nice run. I don't have any issues with Mog. Like, I don't have any fear. Honestly, I'm glad you brought it up because I probably will keep an eye out on Mog. The market cap's probably at what, like 450 million, 340. This bad boy dropped, because last time we looked at it, it was at like 600 million. Let's see here. Yeah, last time we looked at it, no. This is MOG 2023. MOG's been out for that long? 2023, I didn't know that. But last time we looked at MOG, it was like at about 500 million, which was technically just 5 days ago. And this thing's at 340, so you can see it's down for the month 50%. So MOG's been hit pretty hard. Probably not a bad time to accumulate. I would probably put where it's bouncing right now as a support level, and anything below probably a nice little buy zone, right? So you have it finding support in between the 618 and the 786 right now. I would say closer towards the 786 would probably be a good buy zone. So maybe anywhere from where this last drop was around the 73 area, if it does even drop down to that level, would probably be a solid spot. I mean, even realistically where it's at right now is not a terrible time to buy in my opinion, right? We know MOG's going to do probably really well when altcoin season comes back in and meme coins are back up and running. So definitely not a bad time to be accumulating in my opinion. So Brody's Ricky's going to go buy a shit ton of Ordinals. Watch. Ordinals art. Ordinals is going to jump up to $50 because Ricky's going to friggin' go over there and buy like a friggin' truckload. Watch. He said he made money, but he wants his stuff back. I mean, dude, honestly, keep an eye on it, because right now, me and Art, I've been accumulating. Listen, I was talking about Ordinals in the bear market, right? When it was at those $2, $3 marks, and I was like, man, this looks good, and I didn't buy in. And then obviously we know Ordinals ran up to like $85, $90. So now that it's retraced like crazy back down into the 20s, I've been accumulating, right? And I had to put my ego aside, because I had an opportunity to buy it like under $5 and I didn't. So now that it's at like around $26, $27, I've been just putting my ego aside, and I'm like, you know what? Fundamentally, right? Fundamentally, I think Ordinals is going to do really well. And then I always bring it up, a couple other things that make Ordinals stand out is obviously it's one of the first BRC20 tokens that are trading on the that's went live on the Bitcoin ecosystem, right? Gonna bring so much, it already is bringing so much into the Bitcoin ecosystem. People think of Solana, Ethereum, they forget that Bitcoin has an ecosystem, and that's what Ordinals is bringing to the table, right? So I love Ordinals. I love it because the market cap is relatively low, only about 500 right now, right under $600 million, but the circulating supply is what gets me. Circulating supply, only 21 million in circulating supply. But get this, the max supply, total supply, the all supply that it ever can have is 21 million, right? So anything that can be added is already added. There's no more adding. It has the exact same circulating supply as Bitcoin, right? And I think that's crazy bullish. I think the project is, has so much fundamentals behind it. And I think when Bitcoin, 10 years from now, hopefully I can hold for that long. You guys know how I am. But 10 years from now, when Bitcoin is at $1 million, I think Ordinals is going to be at some crazy, crazy numbers, in my opinion, right? So, Ricky said, dude, rub it in. You would think that I'm a salesman for Ordinals, right? Amor said, I sold all my call for MOG, by the way. You finally did it, bro. You finally sold all your call. That's why it dropped. Letty, what's going on, bro? He said, any thoughts on Jasmy? Sorry, I'm catching you late. No worries, bro. I'm glad that you're here, bro. So he said, any thoughts on Jasmy? I have a lot of thoughts on Jasmy, right? I just because I don't bring Jasmy up every time, I still think about her, right? She's that girl that got away. That's how I look at it. Just kidding. No, I think Jasmy, long term, it's going to be fantastic, right? It already is. We've already seen the potential, of these nice runs recently in the last few months on Jasmy. We all know that Japan backs Jasmy. There's a lot of billion-dollar companies that are in business with Jasmy. I think the Asian market particularly is supporting Jasmy, right? I think Jasmy is a great project, and I think they're going to do very, very well in the near future, especially as the markets run up, right? So unfortunately for right now, for most projects, it doesn't matter how well a project is fundamentally or whatever the case is, everything's down right now, right? Because the whole market's down. But a project like Jasmy, I put it just like there with like Caspa and stuff like that. You know that they're going to do really well. They're going to do really well. Jasmy's going to be right back up to that 3-4 cents in no time, especially right when Bitcoin and everything starts running. So with that being said, you know, where we're at as far as price range right now, you can see Jasmy, I believe is that the 0.5 or the 618? My fib retracement's like, so that's the 618. So you can see right now, Jasmy's been hovering around the 618, holding support, right? Holding support. So hopefully it is a little bit a hair below right now, the 618, but hopefully it can hold. But I think, you know, where you're at right now, right under that 2 cent mark, not a bad time to just be continuing dollar cost averaging in if this is a long-term project that you believe in, right? If we do see a little bit more pain in the market, levels to look for as far as support for Jasmy, 1.7 cents, and then that 1.5. You can see on this recent massive drop that we had, you can see it pretty much came in between, almost finding that support level at around the 1.5. So, you know, I would say where we're at right now, not a bad time. But if you have patience, which I always preach on the channel, patience, don't go chasing anything, you might get an opportunity to buy in at 1.7 or 1.5 cents for Jasmy, which I think long term is going to be a steal. So, but Jasmy, I think it's great. I think it's great. Amor said, I don't know why Caspa ain't on CDC yet. I didn't even know it's not on crypto.com. That's crazy. There's probably a reason behind it. That's crazy. Letty said, it's kicking my ass right now. Thanks for the advice. No worries, brother. Keep your head up, bro. I mean, if you're holding Jasmy, I think you're holding a gym, honestly. Unfortunately, maybe you just bought in at a time where it was a little bit higher than what it's at right now. But you're not alone, you know, for pretty much this project or for anything, right? So as long as you're using funds that you have time, you know, time to wait, just have patience, bro. Like I said, the only thing that you can control is if we see dips and you're able to bring your average down by dollar cost averaging in. That's the only thing that you really can control, you know? And then obviously when we go on a nice run, I always tell everybody, don't let the greed take over, right? If you're up like crazy, it's all right to part ways with your projects temporarily, right? A lot of times we get married to these projects, we hold on to them for so long that when they pump and they're up like crazy, it's hard to sell them. I've been there. I've done it. I did it, you know, with a lot of my projects that I held on during the bear market and finally going when I'm up like 200%, hitting that sell button when I know I'm about to make so much money, but just hitting the sell button and knowing that I'm not going to have that position that I had or that I have, it's hard, you know, but at the end of the day, you have to remember that we're all here to make money. We're all here to make money. So Old said, I'm hoping to sell some CAS and finally get one Bitcoin when it drops after this coming bull run. That's a goal right there. You know, it's funny you say that because that's a goal that I have too. If we can get the opportunity, you imagine if Bitcoin in the next bear market comes back down towards like 15, under 20,000. Oh man, I can't believe I didn't pick up a whole Bitcoin this time around. You know, just to freaking have a whole coiner, right? Art said he's been looking at pizza. All right. You've been looking at pizza. Why don't you eat it? Why are you just looking at it? I can't look at pizza for too long until I just start like eating it. You know what I'm saying? Especially like what? Let me ask you guys off the record, New York style or Chicago style? What do you prefer? Since Art's bringing up pizza. Ricky said, you mean like Litecoin? What do you mean? I didn't say anything about Litecoin, boy. Old said the central exchanges have to buy CAS like everyone else. It was all fair launch. Oh, okay, I see you. Old said, preach it, Crip. Good advice. Appreciate that. And Amora said, Chicago all day. Okay. I'm on the fence, bro. Like, I like both of them. I guess it asked me, am I sitting down at a restaurant, or am I just walking up to like one of those New York style windows, just grabbing some pizza and I'm walking? Because if we're walking, you know, and like, or if it's after a night of drinking, you know, stuff like that, and you're on the streets or somewhere where all the nightclubs are, I would prefer New York style, right? Get like 2 big slices, you can fold them. But if I'm at a restaurant and I have a fork and knife, I love me some Chicago style pizza, bro. Art said, I forgot I have 5,000 Jasmy. Troy said, NFK is better than Bitcoin. Troy, I agree, but come on, bro. Letty said, New York style, okay. That dollar pizza hits. Old said, oh man, tough call. I'd go with Chicago. New York, Gina said, and Michael said New York. It looks like New York is running the pizza game. You guys watch Dave Portnoy? He supposedly says the pizza capital is in New Haven. New Haven, I believe it's Connecticut, right? Somewhere in New Haven. Around there, they have a pizza is what they call it. And I love pizza so much that I was telling my daughter, I said, we're going to go on vacation and we're going to go up to New Haven, which there's not much up there. It's just towns, just to go do the pizza tour. I would literally fly up there for like maybe 3 days and just do the pizza tour. Would love it. We should. If I do that, I promise you we'll be live streaming going through there. And Old said, man, I want pizza now. Well, you guys can thank Art, because my boy said he's been looking at pizza. Like, he just hit us with a fun fact. He said he's been looking at pizza. All right, guys. My dog's nudging me. She's like, Dad, I got to go out. I'm going to let you guys. Amar said, come to Hawaii and try our food. Bro, I would love. Didn't I tell you I would love to go to Hawaii, but I can't fly for 12 hours across the water. Can't do it. I'd have to take a boat all the way there. I'd have to take a boat all the way there. I ain't no way in hell I'm getting on a plane and I'm on Discovery Channel 10 years later about how my plane went down in the ocean in the middle of the Pacific and none of the bodies were found. Right? I can't do it, bro. Sorry. I'm either getting on a cruise and going out there and taking 3 weeks to get there, or I'm not going. I'm just telling you that straight up. But I would love to come out there and try your food, bro. I really would. I wouldn't swim in your waters either. I wouldn't swim in your waters. Beautiful waters, right? Beautiful waters. But they have big sharks out there. Can't do it. Said one day, man, right when Shark Week starts, where are they at? Always over there by Hawaii. Freaking first show Shark Week. Guys down there swimming with a 27-foot great white, and you see surfers right there on the beach. I'm like, nope, I'm good. I'm good. Old said he's not flying either. Art said pizza on Ordy. There we go. Oh, this is what we'll do, guys. Before you guys leave, hold on. This is my word. When Ordinals hits $100, we're going to have a pizza party. All right? We'll have a pizza party. I will Uber pizza to your house. Ordinals hits $100. All right? We'll do that. All right, guys. Listen. You guys be safe out there. I appreciate you guys being here. We had a great night. It's fun to just, try to keep some hopium in times like this. Like I said, guys, we'll be okay. We're going to be good. If we do see any more drops, take advantage of it. Take advantage of it if you're able to, all right? Other than that, guys, you guys be safe out there. The Discord is open right now for anybody that wants to come in and not cause drama, all right? Because we love everybody. We're a very tight-knit community, but we will kick your ass out if we have to, all right? All right, guys, be safe out there. Hit that subscribe. Make sure you guys slap that like on the way out if you haven't already. Have a great night, and I'll see each and every one of you guys tomorrow, all right, guys? Thank you.